Good morning, citizens, and thank you for coming to another episode of Celebrity Court Chatter. We have a great episode for you guys today. Mystery Declarant. How do you say that? Declarant? Mystery Declarant. There was a declaration filed yesterday that was redacted, that was anonymous. And so we're going to do a fun little tier list, kind of like a short episode today, just to sleuth out who that could possibly be. And thank you. Good morning, Periwinkle. Enjoy. Good morning. So thank you guys for showing up. I know that it's not my usual time. Um, like I said, I've been struggling to get it together in the morning, and um, kind of fell behind today. So we're doing a 9 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock show. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Mia. Oh, hey, Joe. Joe became a member. Thank you so much, Joe, for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Um, Joy said, sleuth it out. Yeah. So last night, and that's probably why I overslept. Last night, I was up late on TikTok and kind of did a thing. So let me pull up this first screen so I can show y'all. Someone screenshotted us and put it on Reddit. It looked like Hollywood Squares or Avengers Assemble. But if you guys can see it there, let me see if I can make it bigger. It says, "This is my Roman Empire Ultimate Creator Live for those who want to tune in." So it was Elsie, Bocce Gohawk, Sarah, Katie Pope, Katie Inc., me in the middle as the middle square. I loved it. Notorious Raven, Brit, and Little Girl Attorney. So someone went on Reddit and screenshotted and was like, "Thought I would flag this, but these creators have some amazing insight analysis into the It Ends With Us drama. Give them all a follow." So yeah, that was really fun last night. We did that. And when did this happen? No, that was last night. Yeah, it was a live. It was supposed to be Elsie and Bocce, and I just went to go watch. And then Elsie started inviting everyone on, and we ended up filling up the 9 squares pretty quick. Laura from Court of Random Opinion was in the chat for a bit. And then we also had Chris PR, who's on TikTok as well. He was in the chat. And it was such a fun time. And we were trying to sleuth out this Declarant. Hey, Laura, thank you so much for joining us. I feel so bad because the show's usually at 8, and I had Laura waiting, like, "Hey, girlie, where you at?" So I appreciate her patience in helping me out with the show. And then there's DFJ. Thank you, DFJ. I appreciate it for coming on to mod. I was I was worried. I was like, "Am I gonna have no mods? I started late." But I appreciate you guys coming on. Hen said, "I totally missed it. I was passed out last night." Yeah, it was like last minute. It was supposed to be at 8 PST. And then it was on Bocce Gohawk's channel. And we were waiting on Elsie to come on, and then she came on around 8:30, I believe. And they switched over to her channel, and that's when she invited me on. And it was so cool because at the same time I was kind of like fangirling because it's all these people that I follow and that I admire, which is one of the coolest part about content creating is just being able to meet other content creators that you look up to and who you've been following, like Perez. And um, I know like Brett Cooper retweeted me once and follows me now. So um, it's really cool to see that. Colonel, who I used to follow for the Marilyn Manson stuff. Uh, Good morning, Wrathful. Hey, Sunshine. Who's Sunshine? Oh, Laura. Hey, Sunshine. We used to have a follower called Sunshine something. I thought she was in here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cue it up and start the show. Now that we got some peeps in here. But yeah, so we slew it out. And so some of it is stuff that I discussed with Bocce and the crew last night. And I have a little Easter egg, which is really funny. inside joke from last night as well. Um, and some of it's from other citizen sleuths on X. So we're going to get into it, and then you guys can chime in on the chat. Miley says, I've been watching Bocce talk to Britt and LGA and Elsie. It's such an interesting conversation. That lady has her facts on lock. It's crazy. Yes, but I love, love, love Bocce. Joe, love Bocce's take on this case too. Yeah. She, I followed her from the very, very beginning, and I love her because me and her were both like, we want to stay small, because once you get bigger, and then there's more eyeballs on you, and so that was like our little bonding thing. But now that I have a morning show, I used to stay up late and message with her, but now I don't as much. And then last night, look, I stayed up late, and then she has a YouTube. I believe it's Bocce Go Hawks. I'm not sure. But she's been uploading her lives from TikTok over there. Let me see if I can bring it up real quick. It might not be Bocce Go Hawks. Let me see if I can bring it up real quick, y'all. Yeah, okay, so it is Bocce Go Hawks. So there it is. Y'all go give her a follow. She said she only wants nice people. Because I'd always like try to plug her, and she's like, well, if you have nice people on your channel, and we do, we have nice people here. So go follow her. Because she's like, I only want nice people to come and follow me. Oh, we got a follower from Transylvania. What's up, Vamps? Glad you got out that coffin to show up this morning. I feel like I'm still in the coffin. Let me take a sip of this coffee. Get a little upbeat. Get a little more upbeat. So yeah, so it's Bocce Go Hawks. There you see it, and she's been uploading her live sessions. So I don't know if ours will be up there because it was on Elsie's channel. But it was so fun, guys. We laughed so much. Like, it was probably one of the funnest things I've done all week. Yeah, so she's been more on YouTube, and then she's been going live a lot more on TikTok. So make sure you follow her on TikTok. Wait, Laura, you haven't watched Bocce yet? No, she's so cool. And she has like the same kind of takes, like where she deep dives into like she's a sleuther too. Vam said it's my kind of early morning, 5:17 p.m. So that's the Bocce of it all. Let's get it into the tier list real quick. Well, first let's get into the doc. Okay, so we have the doc. It's linked below in the description. Defendant Blake Lively's memorandum of law in support of motion for attorney's fees, treble damages, and punitive damages. So this is the original doc that she's asking for treble damages. And it's pretty lengthy. It's 30 pages. And she has memorandums of law and all that stuff. This isn't the anonymous declaration. That was attached separately. But here there's a little Easter egg on page 5 where it cites the declaration with some timestamps, which makes us think that it's either a deposition transcript or some kind of recording. But in the footnote here, it talks about the declarant. This person also had concerns with Mr. Baldoni, who they found to be verbally abusive, which resulted in him not being allowed on the set of the other project or involved in its marketing or publicity. And then it says paragraphs 2 to 5 in that document that we're going to see, and then it's redacted. So it's 30 pages, and one of my other favorite TikTokers, I've been chilling over on TikTok way more than X lately. So a lot of this is coming from TikTok because I've been hanging out over there a lot. But Not Actually Golden covered it on a video. So if you guys want to go check out Not Actually Golden on TikTok, she was over it. She starts off the video with like a sigh. But somebody summarized it on Reddit. I've also been over there lurking on it ends with lawsuits and Team Justin Baldoni. Um, I hadn't gone to Reddit in a while, but I've been lurking over there lately and on TikTok. So somebody broke it down and not actually golden. These are basically the highlights of what she said about the motion. Don't stress it. Um, the odds of a New York federal judge making the first ever ruling on California law, 47.1, are tiny. Even less likely they'll award treble and punitive damages under it. The motion includes a heavily redacted declaration from someone claiming a bad experience with Justin Baldoni, verbal abuse, negative interactions, possible link to the Steve Sarowitz threats, but unclear what this has to do with Section 47.1. Because she says, like, okay, that's not illegal if you're, verbally abusive. Like, what does this have to do with anything? So she's basically saying, like, it doesn't like tie into anything or weak legal basis. They bullied us, so give us relief. The judge has the opportunity to grant this type of relief before, and he didn't. Highly unlikely he'll do it now under California law with no precedent. And this is what Little Girl Attorney also said on her video. So go check out both of their videos because they break it all down. But Little Girl Attorney also said they've already asked for sanctions. It's highly unlikely that he's going to rule on anything at this point, and certainly not before trial, like they're asking. So they both had kind of like the same train of thought. It says the declaration doesn't allege SH, only verbal abuse. She speculates it could be Blake Lively, but I think this is just when she just read it quickly because in the footnote, you'll see that footnote that I showed y'all that, let me go back to it. You'll see that it was someone who worked on another project. So right here it says, this person also had concerns who they found Mr. Baldoni, who they found to be verbal abuse, which resulted in him not being allowed on the set of the other project. So Blake Lively did not work on another project with Baldoni. So I think that was before, you know, some people caught that footnote. They thought it was Blake. Exhibit 1 is filed under seal, and she calls it her Roman Empire info. So there's that Roman Empire again that I always talk about. Leaves open questions about the real significance. Conclusion motion is mostly noise, but not something to stress over. So I linked the motion down there. And then we also had the declaration, which I posted on X yesterday. I posted breaking. New redacted declaration filed in the Lively versus Baldoni docket suggests someone on another project had problems with Baldoni, and the Reddit receipts by sleuths from earlier this year seem to show it's Liz Plank. And then I had a thread of why Liz Plank could be the possible declarant. So this is the declaration. It says, I'm over 18 years of age. Then it's redacted here. Wayfarer Studios LLC, Justin Baldoni, a founder of Wayfarer, period. So some people think it says like I was employed by, could be an employee of Wayfair or was in the movie. Maybe that's what this is redacted. Um, if it was Liz Plank, maybe talking about the podcast Man Enough. Um, and then another redaction, I had repeated negative interactions with Mr. Baldoni and his associates, which to me is like, who's his associates? Who is his associates? Is it Jamie Heath? Including verbal abuse by Mr. Baldoni. Mr. Baldoni not be permitted on set during the majority of production as a result of this experience. Here I thought it might say I asked someone, or like what would it say there? But redacted. I requested that he not be involved in blank marketing or public relations efforts. If it was a movie, it's got to be short. That's what I loved about Bocce. She started counting the characters that it could be based on the lettering. Like if you look at the letters here, how many characters could be in the redactions. Um, and so I thought Man Enough would fit here if it was the podcast and Liz Plank. Um, and then any other film that project that he was working on at the time. Some people thought The Senior, some people thought well, we're going to get into all the movies that it could be. And then another redaction. And then hold on. And then here it says, I was contacted by the assistant to Steve Sarowitz to schedule time for me and Mr. Sarowitz to speak. So it was also someone who he they met, Mr. Sarowitz and him. Mr. Sarowitz's assistant did not identify a topic for the meeting. And then it says a true and correct copy produced in Discovery as BL 0034285, which I had DFJ's post here where she says the Discovery is referred to BL, the number. Wow, I hope the transcript for whatever it is unsealed in Exhibit 1. So this is a bait stamp, it seems like. In the BL part of it seems that it's documents that were provided by Blake Lively or on her side of because there's another one inside the motion. That was another little Easter egg. There's Ezra's declaration, and in her declaration, it's signal text messages that are sealed in Exhibit A that she got from the website company Skydance in Discovery, and that is bait stamped Skydance dash and then the numbers. So if it was provided by Skydance, and so I'm assuming this is Blake Lively provided it because it's BL. So there's that. And so this is the declaration that we're working for the tier list. And then of course the little Easter eggs. It says Steve Sarowitz divulged to a witness at the film's New York premiere on August 6th that he was prepared to spend $100 million to ruin the lives of Miss Lively and her family. So this is one witness. But then he says that was not the only time. Later in August 2024, even though the film had turned out very well and made lots of money, Mr. Sarowitz confessed to another witness. So see, the premiere witness I always thought was Liz too, but she might not have been talking to Sarowitz at the premiere because we didn't see any pictures of them. So Bocce's theory was this guy Andrew Koloff, who's the president and producer of Wayfair. So we'll have him in the tier list. But he was at the premiere with Steve Sarowitz pictured. But could it be also the same guy over here? Because here it says it's two different witnesses. So anyway, so the other witness was working with Wayfair on an unrelated project, working with Wayfair, not so some people think it's a Wayfair employee or someone from Sony, or because it was working with Wayfair on an unrelated project. And so this is where I thought it was Liz, that if Miss Lively or Mr. Reynolds ever cross the line, they will go after them. Not dead, but you're dead to me. That'll make it worth it. And then here I included that footnote that we were talking about. The person also had concerns with Mr. Baldoni, which they found to be verbally abusive, which resulted in him not being allowed on the set. And so some people said, well, Man Enough isn't a set, but it's kind of like a set that they, where they podcast from of the other project or involved in its marketing or publicity. And that's something I haven't sleuthed. If you guys wanted to sleuth it out, did Justin Baldoni market or publicize Man Enough after August? But this is why some people think it's a movie, because it's marketing and publicity. So let me check in with the chat before we get the tier list started here. But this person found this Liz Plink connection interesting on X, and I already had that thread, like I said. Mildly saying Don Saladino. But Don Saladino, would he have connections with Steve Sarowitz to have a meeting or be able to do have a say in whether to have promotion or not? Yeah, they weren't working with Wayfair, Periwinkle. Yeah, she's right. Yeah, they say it's a project not related with It Ends With Us. I think Nag is right. It could be Blake herself, but Blake didn't work on a separate project with them. Could it be something that was worked on the marketing for the movie? That would be another project that would tie into this movie. Okay. And yeah, DFJ says the stamp was Skyline 0023. Okay, so Ryan was another possibility, but he wasn't working on another project. So we're going to get into the tier list. Let me pull it up here. So look how cool we got the tier list we're going to be doing in real time. We have a bunch of people. So as we go through the different tabs of what citizens are saying, we'll go ahead and pull them up. And D list is basically the worst choice for who it could be. Then C is a better choice. Obviously, B is an even better choice. A is a better choice. S tier is the best choice of who we think. I did this with Taylor Swift. If you guys haven't seen my episode, if you guys go into videos, there's a Taylor Swift episode. It's like a yellow back here. Let me see if I can find that one real quick so I can show y'all. And I was wrong. I was wrong on that one. I had Travis Kelce and Selena in S tier. So it's this one. Objection. Who's the Brian Friedman source that leaked the Blake Lively betrayal? So it was this one here, and let me see if I can pull it up. I know there's a commercial there, but let me see if I can quickly pull it up. Um, so look, Hadid in D tier, Brittany Mahomes and one of her other friends in C tier. I had her mom and her dad in B tier, with her brother. So I had all her family in B tier, and it turned out to be Papa Swift. So I had Sabrina Carpenter over Papa Swift as the source. Can y'all believe that? I was wilding out. Tree Payne, and then her music manager, and then obviously Travis Kelce and Selena up in S tier. So I was wrong with that one, but we're gonna go ahead and get into the Liz Plank of it all. Um, let me so this is my sleuthing that I thought. It says the Reddit receipts show, um, the Reddit the Reddit receipts show, Liz Plank had distanced herself from Baldoni as early as the It Ends With Us premiere, only posting content with Lively at the premiere, the last podcast episode being in October. So October was when the podcast ended. There was no more episodes uploaded. It was an episode with FK Twigs and Jamie Heath. She had only been streaming with Jamie Heath since about, I believe, or August. There was one episode that Baldoni did, but it wasn't with her. But he still did one like episode. I think it was like April or June. Um, but they were shooting separately. So she was only recording with Jamie Heath. So that's why I was like, this could be it. She also had a connection with the intimacy coordinator featured in the earlier filing. As you remember, there was an intimacy coordinator who made a declaration as well, or was in the filing. And it turned out that her father had gone to go see Liz Plank at an event, so they knew each other. So that was, a little connection there, Easter egg. And then Liz Plank was heavily involved with Blake Lively during it, because if you see here, it says on May 24th, which would coincide when she stopped showing up with Baldoni in the podcast. It says uh, a woman who was a mutual friend of Mr. Baldoni and Mr. Heath said, I was going to invite you to set tomorrow. Uh, these people, whoa, it's like HR nuts today. And then she describes Baldoni and Heath as creeps. Some people thought that was Alex Sachs because she was friends with Jamie and Baldoni, but I thought it was Liz Plank. Um, and then here, obviously, we see the Liz Plank Ryan Reynolds connection, and um, and how she's been involved with them. She was pictured in the premiere with Blake and all that stuff. And then here's where I found out the little timestamps for that. And then, there's a citizen here that says, "This is juicy as heck." I think it's Liz. Um, but I wasn't the only one who thought it was Liz because, somebody else found this connection on It Ends With Lawsuit, and so their theory was that she's been infiltrating, that she was the mole since the beginning. Their theory was that, Liz Plank had infiltrated, knowing that Justin bought the book rights in 2009, that it was kinda like a takeover of the book rights, which, mm, I always had this theory there was 2 people who knew the book rights, and obviously for entertainment purposes only, allegedly. I have my ticker, don't sue me, this is just for fun. Um, Colleen Christy Hall, the scriptwriter, and Alex Sachs and Liz Plank were the 4 who knew about the book rights before this, and so I always had this theory that we were on board with Baldoni, but then as Lively came on, they kinda, like, shifted, like, "Hey, let's take this book and the book rights over to Lively and see how we can get it over there." So, that yeah, I'm not the only one with the theory that Liz Plank could have been involved from the beginning, so that's what this theory is, but, they break down she left the podcast around August or September, but then didn't announce it until she filed the CRD in December, it was the day after. And then this is that girl Jenna Redfield. If you guys remember that video that wasn't playing, like, a long time ago, and I'll probably, unprivate it, but I ended up uploading it to YouTube because it was such a long video. But this is a TikToker who was the first one that noted that Liz was not in the pictures with Justin at the premiere, and then this is what set off a bunch of stuff. And so I also found that weird that Jenna Redfield was involved. Um, this is a TikToker who posted that, and then later she's saying, like, the LA Times was contacting her, and somebody DM'd her about what Justin Baldoni really had done, and, then she gave it over to the LA Times or something, like, it was some weird, weird stuff with this, TikToker. She's mentioned here. Um, Obviously, she can't find it because, Jenna deleted it, but I have some of the screen recordings before it got deleted. Um, if people noticed that Liz was dissing herself and Justin publicly in August, do you think the internet sleuths never discussed rumors that she was no longer during the podcast then? Especially when people were and are still uncovering what happened years earlier. Anyways, my point is Liz actively collaborated with Blake beyond, oh, I was love bombed, taken advantage of by a friend. So this is their theory. So it says August 2024. His podcast co-host Liz Plank also attended the premiere and didn't interact with him. She also continued to post about the movie. Considering her whole brand is about encouraging men's mental health, why wasn't she talking about Justin? It was weird. They also haven't done a podcast together since June. Jenna Redfield discussed on TikTok that Liz Plank only posted it ends with us premiere photos with Blake, who she tagged in all of her videos. That video no longer exists because Jenna deleted it, but I'll try and unprivate it on I have it, uploaded to my YouTube that has, like, her whole story, and it's really, really strange. I wonder why she was not subpoenaed because it's strange that LA Times would randomly contact a TikToker and say, "Hey, we heard you had a DM about Baldoni," or something like that. I'm like, "Why would they randomly contact you and know that someone had DM'd you stuff about him?" Really, really strange, but anyway, so this is the Liz link of it all. I'm going to be putting, I'm gonna be putting Liz Plank let me pull up the tier list. I'm gonna be putting Liz Plank in S tier 'cause, I feel like it fits. The other project is Man Enough. We saw that she left the project. Um, she's someone that Steve Sarowitz might call a meeting with because she was familiar with Wayfair and who he'd be comfortable saying something like that to. So I'm gonna put her up on S tier. If you guys disagree, let me know. Give me the letter that you feel like she should go in, but for now, we're gonna put her in S tier. Oh, is it terrible sound? Can y'all hear me now? My audio keeps breaking up. Oh, everyone's trying to, girl, the audio. Can you guys still hear me? What about right now? For the past 10 minutes. Sorry, y'all. She will eventually see the messages. Um, it's still bad. I wonder why. I mean, I'm connected to the Wi-Fi. Troy says I can make out what you're saying. So is it just breaking up, like, crackly, or I messaged her in StreamYard? I was reading all the docs, so I was, like, really into, need to have my phone next to me. Sorry, DFJ. You're you're doing your job, and, yeah, I should always have, like, another tab open to see the private chat. Let me see if my audio has it gotten any better? No, I couldn't make it out. I can't make out what you're saying. Okay, I don't know how to fix this. Hey, DFJ, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear us? I can go, can you guys hear me now? Yes, no, maybe, anybody? Okay, so now y'all can hear me? Is it better? Okay, so now it's better. DFJ, are you on? I put you up on the stage.
Oh, can you hear me?
It's a bit better. Okay,
Uh,
so it does sound good or no?
yeah, you
Okay,
don't
it's
have to
good.
put me.
Okay, sorry, y'all. And thank you, DFJ, for trying to help out with the audio. I don't know if you wanna just stay on. Do you wanna stay on? I don't hear
Oh,
her.
girl, I don't wanna no, I was just saying
She's
I
not
didn't know if
muted.
I'm mute.
Um,
Can you hear me?
but yeah, that was, let me have my phone on here.
Can you hear me?
And Laura always tells me too, she's like, "You never check the private chat anyways." Well, when I'm reading a tab, I'm just, like, on the tab reading it. Um, so basically what I was saying was that I think it's Liz Plank because, she wasn't in the podcast, um
I think you're cutting out again.
Okay, am I still cutting out?
Can you hear me, CJ?
Okay, now I can hear you, yes.
Okay, okay. What I think there didn't you just say, like, you got a new mic or something? Maybe
No, I'm just using the laptop.
that's so strange. No, I just came in because I didn't know what would happen if you logged out and didn't have someone on stage and then came back in. So I
She's
don't need
starting to sound worse again. Okay, so right now I'm sounding worse? Okay, no, Lisa says she hears us both fine. Dang it, technical difficulties. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know what the heck. Maybe it's the Wi-Fi. I logged out of the Wi-Fi and came back on, so hopefully y'all can
it
you
could
hear me
also
better
be
now?
well, I think also I don't know what you're on, but see how there's, like, those ads in the background? Like, maybe
It was just a tear maker.
yeah.
Let me see if I can shut that one down. Yeah. The other ads don't come off, so should we scrap the show or can y'all hear me good enough to it's the ether. It's should dude, no, seriously, because I started talking about that girl Jenna Redfield, and this is what happened last time when I was talking about her.
I think you went into, like, the Reddit or something, and then you got lost. Like, it sounded like you went underwater.
Yeah, that was really weird because like, I pulled up this one right here, this, Reddit post that talked about, that girl Jenna Redfield
Oh,
in the
okay.
video. Remember that video that wouldn't play that one time?
No oh, I think so, but,
But
yeah,
yeah, I started talking about Jenna Redfield, who was the one that pointed out that Liz Plank was not at the movie premiere.
oh.
And then she deleted all her stuff, but how weird it was because someone from the LA Times had contacted her and said, "Hey, I heard someone DM'd you about Justin Baldoni." And I'm like, "Why would someone from the LA Times know that this random TikToker got messaged about the truth about Justin Baldoni and wanting the evidence or like the DM or whatever. And then she hands it over to the LA Times. It's the weirdest thing ever. So that's what I was trying to say was that this is why I think it's Liz Plank, because she ended up posting that. And then here in the timeline, it says her last episode with Justin Baldoni was in June. And then, yeah, that episode of Jenna Redfield's TikTok is deleted now, but I have it because I screenshotted it before she deleted everything. And that's where it says, like, the LA Times contacted me, and it was like the day of the premiere that someone DM'd her. So I don't know why she hasn't ever been subpoenaed, but she's super sketchy to me. But yeah, last time I was talking about her, I had technical difficulties. So y'all can hear me now. It's
Yeah,
good
I
now.
mean,
Good.
yeah, I
Okay.
can. It was just
So
well,
sorry about that, DFJ, because yeah, you were in the private chat like, hey.
I was like, I called you, called, text, X
I
message
didn't have my phone by me.
using all the emojis. I was like
She'll
trying to be.
eventually come back.
I
Okay,
was trying
live,
to
like,
be
I
a
can hear
good.
you guys. Okay. So it must have been the Wi-Fi. I mean, I left and I came back in, or it could have been me talking about Jenna. So we lost a couple of y'all there for a second. Sorry about that. Hopefully, on the edit,
Yeah,
I'll
you can edit that part out. Yeah.
um okay, so we have Liz Plank here on oops, hold on. We have Liz Plank here on S tier. I don't know why it has like 2 tabs sharing, but I guess I'll figure that out later. There's like 2 tabs. It says share this tab or share this tab. It's weird. Um, so we have Liz Plank up there. So that's our first one. If y'all think she should go lower later, y'all can tell me. So then we started to sleuth the movies, which projects were going on. Code 3 is one. Eleanor the Great. And so I have Eleanor the Great here. Could it have been someone from Eleanor the Great? And I had Miss June Squibb to represent Eleanor the Great because I love her. It could potentially be someone from Eleanor the Great because Justin Baldoni, we know, was not on the set of Eleanor the Great, and he was not in the promotion or marketing for Eleanor the Great. And we know that it was filming around the same time as all of this was going on. So, but it does say that they were on the set and told them not to be on the set, or was working on a project and was told not to be on the set. So for this one, I put Eleanor the Great in C tier because um, it matched the marketing promotion part, but he was never even on the set. Scarlett Johansson said she never met him. So I don't think it could have been anyone on the set of Eleanor the Great. So I put it on I put it in C list tier for that one. Let me see. Well, DFJ, do you want to stay on and hang and talk it out, sleuth it out, or do you just want to mod? It's up to you.
No, girl, it's totally up to you. I was just trying to be a good mod and trying to figure it
You're
out.
like, girl. I know, and then I'm always like, I have you guys in the back so y'all can chime in. But I didn't put you up on the stage, so I couldn't
Hear me.
yeah, I couldn't hear you. So that was my bad.
I think
Yeah.
it's Plank. That's just my opinion.
What's
I
that?
just
You think it's Plank?
the reason I think it's Plank is because the whole thing is that they obviously brought up Blake and Ryan in this conversation with Steve Sarowitz for him to respond with something about protecting the studio from Blake and Ryan. So it has to be someone that has a reason to bring that up. And so, I mean, but I didn't follow this back in August like a lot of the other sleuths. So they might know something I don't, but that's the hill I'm dying on right now.
Okay, so Liz Plank. So we're looking at all the other movies. I know that yesterday Eldrick said Black is Beautiful, the Kwame Brothway story, but we didn't find anyone there that it was a documentary, and I didn't find anyone there that could possibly be like Steve Sarowitz related. So I didn't include that one. And Black is Beautiful is too long to fit in the redaction. Will and Harper also, it didn't have a set. They filmed in the car, so that one. But this one was compelling. Empire Waste. So somebody, let me pull it up here. One of the web sleuths. Okay, so these are the 3 movies that Perplexity said had a set. So it was The Senior, Code 3, A Nice Indian Boy, and Empire Waste, and Eleanor the Great. Eleanor the Great we have up there. Empire Waste was the other compelling one that other sleuths sleuthed it out. A Nice Indian Boy, I didn't see anybody from there. It still could be, but I didn't see no sleuths slew that one all the way out. If there was someone there that could have been it. Same thing with Code 3. I didn't. The Senior was filmed in 2023, but I guess some filming went on in 2024. So I don't know. Could have been someone from The Senior, but I didn't have any of these 3 movies, Senior, Code 3, or Nice Indian Boys, because none of the citizen sleuths sleuthed that out. But here there's Helena. She says, in my opinion, it may be someone working at Blue Fox Entertainment who must have spoke with Robin Lively. Blue Fox worked with Wayfarer on the movie Empire Waste. It was happening at that time. JB wasn't involved in any of the marketing. He was listed as producer, and Blue Fox does not follow JB, but they do follow Robin Lively. So let's go back because I do have both Blue Fox Entertainment and Robin Lively. So I'm going to put Blue Fox in C tier because it could be likely that it was someone from there because they were working on the Empire Waste movie. We know that he didn't do any promo for that movie. We know that he was involved early on with it, and then they stopped tagging him around this time when they were promoting the movie. He wasn't tagged in anything. We know that Blue Sky Entertainment follows Wayfarer and Steve Sarowitz, but Blue Fox Entertainment does not follow Justin Baldoni, and they follow Robin Lively. Robin Lively, I'm going to put her in D tier because she wasn't working on another project with Wayfarer, and so it doesn't fit. It doesn't match that one. But it could have been Blue Fox told something to, and then Robin wouldn't have a meeting with Steve Sarowitz, but someone at Blue Fox might. But anyway, so I put Robin on D tier. Let me make sure. Audio still good, y'all? We're still good? Is the audio still good?
Yeah, you're still good, girl.
Okay. Ryan is probably laughing at us trying to figure out who this mysterious person is, even if the declaration doesn't make sense at all. Yeah, this is just a little fun morning little show. So okay, so the next one is the Citizen Sleuth. Okay, so this is Blue Fox Entertainment, and then this is the movie Empire Waste. Here's the movie. It's about a teen displaying insecurity about her weight, and Wayfarer was the people who financed it. And so one of the writers and the director is Claire Ayub. And someone yesterday when we were on that TikTok group chat, they said it might be Claire Ayub who might be the person who Steve Sarowitz was talking to. So this is her right here, Claire Ayub. She stopped posting in August on Instagram, and then she stopped posting in November on TikTok. But one of the things I found weird, her TikTok follower list is private, but not her Instagram list. So she doesn't follow Justin Baldoni. And she used to tag him in the very beginning of when it happened because they were casting right here. You can submit your audition. So when they were auditioning people, she was tagging at Justin Baldoni and all that stuff. But then she stopped tagging him later on. And so this one to me, I'm going to put her in B tier because it was more compelling because it fits that she was working on another project. She was working on another project with him, with Wayfarer. She would have had access to Steve Sarowitz because remember, Blue Sky Entertainment followed Steve Sarowitz. And so I would think she would if she was part of this, Blue Sky was who was producing the movie. And so she would have access to Steve Sarowitz. She would be working on another project with him. And she would be around Justin Baldoni. And like I said, it's compelling because she doesn't follow him and she didn't tag him. And she stopped posting altogether on Instagram in August. So she felt like it was like a more compelling one. So I put Claire up on B tier. So if y'all disagree, let me know if I should put her lower or higher. I was going to put her A tier, but I feel like B tier is good for right now. But yeah, those 3 things were like, okay, she had another project with him. There was marketing and promotion of the film in August. I don't know about there being a set then, because I couldn't figure out when the last, like when principal photography ended and when the last part of it was. And so then the next one is it could have been someone at Sony with enough power to get Baldoni banned. I'm leaning towards the declarant being a Sony rep. So we have Sony down here. I'm going to put Sony in A tier because I feel like that's the closest thing because they were working on several projects with Sony. And so it could have been, a lot of people said Todd Black or Angie Janetti or one of those people. I have Alex Sachs separate, but I'm going to put her up in A tier as well, because we know Alex Sachs was friends with all three of them. We know that she also stopped posting around August and stopped tagging Justin Baldoni on Instagram. I think the last picture was remember when they had that like friends and family premiere? I think that was in May. She's hugging Baldoni, but she stops posting him. We know that she may be one of the people in the text threads. Oh no, I didn't think you were condescending. Could it be Ryan? Okay, so that's another one we have here. We have Ryan and Blake. I'm putting them in D tier because Ryan was not working on another project with Wayfair, and neither was Blake. They were only working on it with on It Ends With Us. So I don't think it's them. We have the multiple personalities of Blake right here because this is Elsrich. She's like, it was one of Blake's many personalities. So it's depicted by the Another Simple Favor twins, triplets. Could have been one of her personalities. So that's also going to go on D tier because it's just more of a funny one. And then this one, you guys, oh my gosh, we were talking about the Lawrence brothers last night in that stream. And Elsric thought it was Martin Lawrence was part of the Lawrence brothers. And so I made this cool little image of the Lawrence brothers. I'm like, I'm going to put him in the tier list tomorrow as an Easter egg because we were hella cracking up. So it's not the Lawrence brothers and Martin Lawrence either. They're going to go on D tier. Okay, so Isabel Ferreira was another one that some people were claiming. We're putting her on D tier as well because she wasn't working on another project with Justin Baldoni and Wayfair. So we got Sony up there. We got Alex Sachs up there. The next one was this one by Ashley Brianna Eve. It says, this was sent to me. Maybe the person that is redacted is in the new filing as this person. And so this is a person that was working on a documentary with Justin Baldoni named Craig Hodges. And he basically was trying to get this documentary made. And they had a difference of opinion because there was an Asian director named Jivy who wanted to do the project and who Craig was on board with him doing the project. But Justin Baldoni and Jamie Heath were not on board with that because they wanted a Black director that they had picked out, this guy Fraser. And so one of the reasons that this was compelling was because they say that in a Zoom call reviewed by Deadline, they heard Heath and Baldoni trying to convince Singh that he wasn't the right man because he's Asian and this was a story about a Black American. And so they go into all these things. But what I found compelling was that there's timestamps on that. And so some people thought, well, could it be timestamps for a Zoom call if he had a meeting with Steve Sarowitz that way? Because this would be someone who would communicate with Steve Sarowitz. And it would be another project, and someone who has recorded stuff before. So if it is an audio recording, so I have Craig Hodges here. I'm putting him in B tier because I thought it was kind of compelling. He could have been verbally abusive over the phone with him, but there was no sets, so maybe C tier because it says not to come on set, but there was no set ever for this movie. So I don't know. Could be even D tier for that one now that I think about it. Because if there's no set that he came on, I'm just gonna leave it in C tier for now. But yeah, so that's the Craig Hodges of it all. And then that Javi Singh guy. So it could have been them. I thought this was a cool little side theory. And then we had hold on. We had Little Nomad, which I love that it brought Little Nomad out. She's a super sleuth, independent investigative citizen journalism, good at finding random facts and connecting the dots. Another amateur internet sleuth, according to the New York Times. So Little Nomad hasn't been active a lot in X, but it brought her back out. And so she's like thinking way out of the box. What if it's Cody W. Smith? So this was a guy who was a cinematographer who worked with Baldoni and was, he tweeted on X saying, like, I worked with Justin Baldoni. It was the worst experience of my life. I watched him firsthand exploit stories of people with terminal illness. But he said it's almost a decade ago. It says it's been a decade or so, but yeah, he's been like this for a while. So he wasn't really working on a recent project with him because I believe he was talking about the Clouds movie. So here's Chris Hodges. I'm putting him in D tier. I don't think it's him. There wasn't a recent project that he was working on, but it was still a good guess there. Um, and then we had Bocce Gohawks, who came up with the name Andrew Kaloff, executive producer for It Ends With Us and Eleanor the Great. But some people didn't think it was him because he's the current president of production and development at Wayfair. Um, and Wayfair Studios was still tweeting or posting about him on August 13th here. And some people say that there was another post where they called him my guy. So I thought it was compelling. I'm putting Andrew up here in A list because he does work with Wayfair still and stuff, but well, I might put him in B tier because that was the only thing. It's like, would he cross Wayfair and still be working for them? Maybe C tier. Because this is Bocce Gohawks is putting all her eggs in this basket that it's Andrew Kellogg. But he still works for Wayfair. And I'm like, would he, if he signed a declaration working with Blake Lively, would he still be working with Wayfair? It just doesn't seem like he would. So let me see. Anybody else here? Didn't Justin talk to Paul Feige? Have they worked together with Wayfair? Huh, that's an interesting guess. They just had him on Man Enough, that they didn't work together. Yeah. Okay. So as we wrap up here with our final guesses, let's get all these guys out of D tier. So this is, I don't know why he's here twice, but this is Tony Viscari. He was the old Sony CEO. It could have been him because then he ended up retiring and leaving. But he was from Sony and he was working on different projects because they were being distributed by Sony. So it could have been him because he had the connections to Steve Sarowitz. He fits the other projects. And he could have asked them to stay off the set of Eleanor the Great or something because of his actions. So, and then Wayfair studio employee, I'm also going to put that up here in B tier because it could be someone because it says work with Wayfair. So a Wayfair employee could work with Wayfair, but the only thing is, would a Wayfair employee turn and help out Blake? I'm not sure. So this is what we have right now. Let me see if I can make it smaller so y'all can see it all. So we still have Liz Plank up here on S tier. I think this might be the final. Let me know if you guys agree or not. Let's see. Oh, she's just brainstorming. Periwinkle says she's just brainstorming. Okay. Let me see. Why can't I? Okay, there's the tier maker. Stephanie Jones, did we eliminate? She was never in here, Stephanie Jones, because she wasn't. It was on a set. It was someone who was on a set. that they were asked not to come back on set. And with Stephanie Jones, I don't think that they would have asked. Yeah, so irrelevant photons. It's not Blake because it was someone who was working on another project with them. Bart Johnson, I don't know if he was working on another project. Do we know it was definitely a Wayfair set? Could it be a set for a movie by Sony Columbia Picks? So yeah, that's what we thought because Sony's the distributor, and we had that Reddit post where he was banned from the Sony lot. Yeah, let's see. So yeah, I don't think any of those would go. So let me know. PR agents go on set. She worked for Wayfair. Yeah, Stephanie Jones might have been a guess, but at that point in August, they were already cutting ties with Stephanie Jones. So I don't know that it could be Stephanie Jones. Plus, I feel like her name is too long to fit in that little redacted. So it has to be someone with character names, like 12 characters, I believe is what Bocce said. Is DFJ still here? No, she left. I was wondering if she was still here, what she thought. So I think she might have left already. Leslie Sloan. It doesn't say another project that Baldoni worked on. Well, it says, let me pull it up. Let me pull up what it says here. Okay, it says, I don't know how I can view these tabs. I don't know what is going on. It seems like there's two different streams going on. I don't know. I have like two. Share this tab instead. Okay. Let me see. It says this person was on set. No, this person had concerns who they found was verbally abusive, which resulted in him not being allowed on the set of the other project or involved in its marketing or publicity. So it doesn't say it's a Wayfair project, but it was someone who worked with Wayfair. So they worked with Wayfair. So, which resulted in him not being allowed on the set of the other project. Promoting It Ends With Us and DPW banned from DPW and marketing. What's DPW, Casey? See, Leslie Sloan, I don't think it could be because it's someone who was working with Wayfair. Leslie Sloan didn't work with Wayfair. Muddy the waters, I suppose. Yeah, that's what this is. Yeah, definitely it's getting people talking, but I thought it was fun to sleuth it out. Oh, Deadpool and Wolverine. The other project could be Deadpool and Wolverine? Huh. Because it says on the set of the other project, but why would Baldoni be on the set of Deadpool and Wolverine? So no, that doesn't match. Kirsty mentioned she thinks it's Blake herself. She's the only person on set that had control, that they're trying to trick people. Yeah, but it doesn't match with Blake because it's someone who was on the set of another project. It resulted in him not being allowed on the set of the other project or involved in its marketing or publicity. And then not only that, but look, it says it was someone who that was not the it says Mr. Sarowitz confessed to another individual, an individual who was working with Wayfair on an unrelated project. So it's someone who was working with Wayfair on another project. That's why like DFJ said, she's putting all her eggs on Liz Plank, and I keep thinking Liz Plank is the one that fits the best. The other project is Maximum Effort's little fake set for marketing. It could be. Nag thinks it's Blake as well. Yeah, but I don't think she read that little footnote that talked about the other project, because a lot of people missed it. And she had just read it, so because it's the other project's marketing and promotion. The other project could be the marketing, but it doesn't fit. Um, let me see. Because it doesn't seem to fit. Assistant did not identify a topic. Says, I had repeated negative interactions with Mr. Baldoni and his associates, including verbal abuse. Mr. Baldoni not be permitted on set during the majority of production as a result of these experiences. So I requested that he not be involved in blank marketing or public relations. See, Eleanor the Great, it's too long to fit here. So that's why I was like, it can't be. Code 3, I feel like is too short unless they spelt out 3. The one movie, Empire, was it called Empire Waste? Or yeah, Empire Waste. I feel like that could fit here in Empire Waste marketing. So that's why I was like, I had them in A tier. Oh no, I had them in B tier. That it could be them. Maybe I'll move them up to A tier, but this one just fits all of them. She stopped working with him. She wasn't on the set anymore. But some people said no, because he had control over Man Enough and the production and stuff. But if she was also part of that, and she asked, I don't want him to be a part of it anymore. And then, Jamie and them said, okay, that's fine, to avoid things. And maybe they were trying to keep her happy too. That's the only thing that I'm thinking. Dear Fritz, my love, come help. It's like 9 to 10 characters long. Yeah, Bachi, I think, said 12. Yeah, the redactions are intentional to mislead. So anyways, that's the final tier list. If you guys want to put in the comments any other suggestions, or if you think this tier list is not correct, any changes before we make this the final. So we got Liz Plank up at the top, somebody from Sony, Alex Sack or Tony, or some other rep from Sony, and then we have the Empire Waste director and Wayfair, or a Wayfair employee. And then we have Blue Fox Entertainment, who was the distributor, someone from Blue Fox. We have maybe someone from Eleanor the Great, maybe Chris Hodges, maybe Andrew, who was the president. Yeah, I keep saying Craig Hodges. Yeah, that was Ashley's theory. And yeah, I'm gonna get off so that you guys can go and head over to Ashley's, because this is only supposed to be like a little short hour long, but we had those technical difficulties. Robin Lively, and then all these, obviously they were just for fun. The Lawrence brothers. Shout out to Ellsrick, because oh my gosh, we were cracking up about them. It's not Blake's multiple personalities, not Blake Orion, not Robin Lively, not Isabel Ferrer, and not this other cinematographer that worked with him 10 years ago. So this is the final tier list, you guys. What to look forward to next? We have open items on the court docket, Lively's motion to compel withheld documents versus Case and Coslow. We have, let me see if I can make this bigger so y'all can read it. We have Wallace's motion to dismiss, Perez Hilton's motion to quash, Popcorn Planet's motion to quash, Lively's motion to compel source intelligence, Jonesworks' motion to dismiss, Fully brief motions that might lag behind the case is the sanctions against Friedman, the Rule 11 sanctions regarding Wayfair's complaint, and Sloan's motion for attorney's fees. So they were expecting that the court would rule on the case Kozlu yesterday, which was Monday. It's not clear to me whether the court will rule on the Wallace motion to dismiss quickly or if they'll wait to see how the discovery motion checks out. So I continue to believe that the Jones Works motion to dismiss will be decided soon because of the approaching discovery cutoff and because the judge's outgoing law clerks will want it closed before departing. So I guess the judge's clerks are leaving. So that's a little Easter egg. The group 2 fee motions are the kind that are typically decided after a case is over, especially the sanctions motions against Friedman. I'm expecting a second wave of discovery motions to come in the next 10 days based on the Wayfair productions last week and today. I would also bet money on a motion to push the deposition cutoff by 15 days due to late document productions. And so this came true because we saw that filing as well yesterday where Wayfair asked for more time to produce the signal chats. So that is the, that is the tier list, the final. That's what we're going to go with. Whose channel was it up? Can I catch up on that live? I think with TikTok, it just goes live and then it disappears. So I don't think it gets saved, but it was on Elsrich's channel. But yeah, we were sleuthing it in real time. Little girl attorney was in there with her most serious face. I was like, what did you find? Because her face was so serious. She's like, this is behind the scenes. This is what I look like when I'm sleuthing. And they stayed up. I don't know how late. I ended up falling asleep at midnight because I had the show. And then again, I kind of overslept this morning because I was on so late with them. But they ended up, I don't know how late they stayed up sleuthing or what they came up with. But shout out to, if you guys don't follow at Little Girl Attorney or at Katie Pope or at Katie K Inc. Or Sarah or any of those folks, give them a follow over on TikTok. It's fun times over there if you don't have a TikTok. Thanks all. This was great. Hit like on the way out. Yes, thank you. I'm not a bot. I appreciate it. And we will see you guys probably next week. I'm not going to do a morning show tomorrow or Thursday. Might be able to do one Friday, but we'll probably see you guys Sunday on the Crime Chatter. I just have some in real life stuff that I need to take care of, but hopefully we'll be back to go next week with the shows all 4 days. And then, we'll stay on schedule and all that stuff. DFJ and Laura who left, but I appreciate them for trying to help me out. Sorry about that. I need to be more, aware of the mods and the channels and check in more with you guys, but I appreciate everyone. Thank you, CJ. Thank you. Thank you guys. I appreciate y'all coming on. This was fun. I love the tier list and we'll see if I'm right. Like I said, last time I was wrong. I had Papa Swift at B tier, and for some reason I thought it was going to be Selena Gomez or Travis Kelce, but was wrong on that one. So let's see if it's Liz or not. And if you guys have any other theories, drop them in the comments. If you think I should switch out anybody, drop it in the comments. I appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Take care.